What does a 4-inch tall toy with wide eyes, rabbit ears, and a creepy smile have to do with global consumer trends, economic anxiety, and modern cultural identity? Quite a lot, it turns out. Meet Labubu, the curious collectible at the center of a growing cultural and commercial phenomenon. Equal parts endearing and repulsive, the Labubu has become something far more than a toy. It's a symbol of how people, especially millennials and Gen Z, are coping with an increasingly inaccessible world, one trend at a time. Stanleys, Crocs, and now Labubu. But what exactly is a Labubu? The Labubu character was created in 2015 by Hong Kong origin artist Ka-Sing Lung as part of his Monster series, a whimsical yet eerie collection inspired by Nordic and Celtic mythology. But its turning point came in 2019 when Lung partnered with Chinese collectible toy giant Mart. Since then, Labubu has evolved from art to pop culture collectible. It's now sold in dozens of forms: plushies, figurines, keychains, all in Mart's signature blind boxes where consumers don't know which variation they'll get, an element of surprise that is part of its appeal. The rise of Labubu can't be explained without understanding the broader cultural and financial backdrop. We're in the middle of a cost of living crisis, where long-term goals like home ownership have slipped out of reach for large segments of the population. In response, younger consumers have shifted their aspirations inwards, embracing what's often called little treat culture. Instead of saving for a seemingly hopeless future, they're indulging in small, manageable luxuries: elaborate coffee orders, beauty treatments, trendy experiences, or limited edition trinkets. It's a consumer mindset born out of both economic constraint and emotional need, literal manifestations of people's shrinking aspirations. And this isn't new. The lipstick effect economic theory suggests that consumers tend to gravitate towards small indulgences when finances are tight, and Labubu fits this bill perfectly. It's strange, aesthetic, and carries an odd sense of exclusivity and luxury without being entirely unaffordable like a $10,000 handbag. In this context, Labubu is more than a toy. It's a reward or a comforting ritual. What makes the Labubu phenomenon particularly interesting is the self-awareness of its consumers. Most buyers know that these figures serve no real function, and yet the absurdity of it is precisely what makes it so compelling. When the world feels out of control, people often try to reclaim some sense of order through consumption. But rather than reaching for traditional, unaffordable status symbols, many are opting for more accessible, emotionally charged purchases. Labubu becomes a kind of proxy for hope, a small, odd anchor in an increasingly unstable reality. It's also a way of resisting expectations, to stop reaching for logic. If the traditional life milestones are unattainable, then why not redirect desire and their disposable income into something playful and weird? Of course, none of this would work without the mechanics behind the madness. Pop Mart's business model is built on scarcity and unpredictability. Their blind box system taps into a powerful psychological reward loop known as variable ratio reinforcement, the same logic behind slot machines. You never know what you're going to get, which keeps people coming back for more. Buying one is also never enough, as people have completion anxiety. By 2025, the company has now released around 300 different Labubu variants. Their biggest markets: North America, Southeast, and East Asia, especially the US and China. The rarest editions sell for hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars on the resale market. Vending machines are restocked under armed guard in some regions. And in the UK, in-store sales were suspended after fights broke out among customers. The results certainly speak for themselves. Mart closed 2024 with a staggering $1.81 billion in revenue, a 1,200% increase in plush toy sales alone. And founder Wang Ning is now among the top 10 richest people in China with a net worth of $22.7 billion. As with any hype product, the knockoffs were quick to follow. Off-brand versions, affectionately termed lafufus, have now flooded the market, even in India, and surprisingly developed their own fan base. So much so that Pop Mart has now moved to trademark the name Lafufu in a preemptive strike against copyright infringement. Ironically, what makes Lafufus appealing is that they're worse than the Labubu. Misshapen, wonky, and clearly fake, they're embraced as a kind of satire of consumerism itself. Whether you see Labubu as a reflection of economic despair or just a harmless collector's item, its impact is undeniable. The lines outside Pop Mart, the resale prices, the pleasure of unboxing videos, they all point to something deeper. Many brands are capitalizing on this culture that so desperately needs small wins and rewards. Little treats like the Labubu speak to the emotional coping strategies of a generation, forced to let go of big dreams and instead find joy, or at least control, in smaller, stranger things.